So what's interesting about punk riffs, metal riffs, the type of stuff that we make?
Well, Charles. Well, Charles, I'm glad you asked that.
Sharpie Dark.
I'm glad you asked that question. What I find interesting about them is the endless variations and options you can do. No matter how weird you can get, it can still be pretty or as heavy or as fast or slow, you know. It's just a lot of endless options. It's pretty wide around many subgenres.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's my preferred style, dude. Loud, fast.
Going, moving.
Yes.
Yeah, there's something about a punk riff where if it feels like it's about to fall apart, that's probably my favorite type of riff. Or if it feels like it's about to drop out of pocket or it's about to drop something, you know?
Yeah.
But it keeps pushing it, you know?
Yeah, that is really cool about it, how it's like, sounds like it's about to trail off and just go off the deep end, but then we just pick it right back up.
Yeah. And also when you're writing any kind of proggy riff or whatever, you're just like, I don't see where this pattern's going. And then like kind of finding the right place to repeat it or the right way to repeat it melodically.
Yeah, it's kind of always been there for me, you know, just never learning guitar a specific way, just picked it up and started listening to songs that I liked and kind of playing around that, you know, learning a few things and just making it my own as weird as possible.
Yeah.
Kind of like, sometimes I like to slow it down, sometimes I like to speed it up, you know, playing the same riffs and playing it a lot just to figure out where I liked it. Like, I'll sit on riffs for years and years and only play acoustic guitar with it until I finally pick up an electric, and then I really decide, okay, I'd like to play it a little faster maybe. It gives it a whole different feeling.
Yeah, I think I just got to the point where I consumed so much music that I couldn't, I don't know, I've made the mistake a few times of making music that sounds kind of similar to other people's music, so I don't know. Everything post 2008, I just can't, I gotta make it a little weirder or whatever. Which I've always had that or whatever, but it's like, I also believe in writing records to the audience that's in front of you or whatever.
I feel that. Yeah, and it's kind of hard to not get stuck on albums and songs sometimes. That's a big problem with me, is not checking out new stuff and just getting hooked on something and listening to it for so long, almost getting burned out, but it's always so awesome to pick it back up again and listen to it.
Yeah.
And it is also awesome when you do find something new that you really do enjoy. It's very long increments of time in between that for me.
Yeah, I don't get into guitar players very often. Most of the stuff that I really like is piano-based or whatever.
Hell yeah.
I play a lot of guitar, but I don't know. I don't get nerdy about other people's guitar playing.
Yeah, it's probably why you be liking so much jazz style stuff on guitar.
Yeah.
It really does help, you know, listening to a lot of stuff like that and then trying to take it to the punk or hardcore riffs. It's a good blend, I feel.
Right. It's like, well, you take these melodic ideas and these space ideas into like the harsh boxes of punk rock and metal and that type of thing. And you're like, okay, how can we make it more interesting in this way instead of just being purely technical? Maybe there's like some kind of melodic ideas, you know. Maybe there's something melodic we can explore that makes it darker and more interesting, you know.
That's what is fun, dude, is going down the hole of exploration with the riffs, and it's what kind of makes them so weird. I feel like some of my riffs I write, just sitting on them so long, and every time I play, adding a new note or a new feel to the rhythm or whatever, it's kind of hard not to do that and never finally settle on a certain riff or whatever, and then until the last minute when you're recording, okay, this is it. It's kind of how I end up having songs, is playing so many different riffs back to back that they ended up becoming songs just because playing them simultaneously together and like, okay, well, I guess that sounds like it goes together.
Right. They're coming from like the same source, so they're the same source thought or whatever. I get that way with grooves a lot of times, where I'll think heavily on like a type of groove that I want to hear. Specifically when we're writing for any kind of Laugh for Truth stuff, I'm like, what is some shit that I don't really hear on records that often? And or specifically, what is some stuff that I hear too often on other records or whatever? I was like, there's got to be some kind of form of syncopation or melodic ideas that we can kind of explore in there.
Oh yeah, dude. I feel like we've been doing that so far on this record, like a lot of style stuff that we haven't done in the past, and non-typical drum beats for what we have done. So it's been pretty fun.
I think it'd be good to give Corey something to do besides like 3 or 4 drum beats. Even though I don't past couple releases were very proggy, but there's also a lot of like just going back to a 2-step beat or a fast, circle pit beat or whatever.
I hear you. Maybe, he's gonna get in there and do like we do on guitar last minute, say, oh, I can hear this now that we're actually in the studio, and he's got them headphones on with the riffs coming through.
Right.
That's what's crazy about, I guess, not practicing together and doing it how we are, going into the studio after sending our demos around to the other members. Like, he's gonna hear what we did in there with you not having the drum tracks on the demos, so he'll listen to it one time, but then when he hears them by themselves, it's gonna be like, dang, dude, what you doing there, man?
Yeah. He's gonna have a lot to dance under. I mean, I'm excited about the possibilities of writing like our punk rock Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh yeah. Had a bubble in my throat right there. Didn't mean to sound like that, but yeah, I'm excited for him to record on these 2 songs this coming Saturday. See what he can cook up. Because we sure have been working on it, so
yeah,
maybe it's
been like 2 weeks of mostly us, me and Zach. Michael's came over a few evenings to talk about the record, and one night he recorded some demo stuff, but most of it's been me and Zach sitting in one of his spare rooms, just riffing with his doggos outside waiting on us.
Oh yeah, they've been hearing everything, so they're our special listeners.
Yeah, they might get a producing credit. Well, I think the tune is slightly off from one now.
I think people are going to hear this and be like, dang, I hope y'all do. It's going to be sick in the studio once it all comes together to get the bass laid down, the drums. It's a little different doing it backwards, no drums first or whatever, but when did we ever do anything in specific orders how you thought they were supposed to be done?
All right. I think for the most part we've always been well rehearsed. So if you can practice to a click at all or whatever, it makes tracking 100 times easier.
Yes, sir.
Because even as fast, I mean, like even like you felt like you were going slow because I guess it took a little while to do 2 songs, but like even that is super fast for most people.
Yeah. I've been practicing these songs a whole lot, and it's also different doing them as whole songs right there, as opposed to riff by riff, just sitting down playing a little guitar before I go to bed.
Yeah, turning them into actual songs. Especially, I mean, like, thing about, like we were saying about punk riffs or metal riffs or whatever, hardcore type riffs, is there has to be some kind of urgency to the way that you play it, so you kind of have to push yourself to like a fight or flight state to perform them sometimes.
Most definitely.
It's exhausting to sit around all day and play them and just think about them, think about ways you can make them more intense.
Like I said, endless possibilities, and if you start thinking about it too much, then you just get stuck in there, and it's hard to settle, but once you finally do and get happy with it, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, my trick is to just always be really comfortable in the pocket or whatever the tempo, the BPM is. Just feel really comfortable in it, as comfortable as I can get. And so that way when it comes to recording and making choices on the fly, it's super easy.
I hear you. It's kind of been a struggle playing along to the metronome lately, just for years and years, not playing guitar as much as I used to, and definitely not playing to a click track. So having these riffs and then trying to put them on time, a lot of it fell together kind of easily, but some of it was like, oh, I need to put this here, I need to put this here, but enjoying it.
Right.
Bit of a challenge for me, but that's what I have to do, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know what you're doing until you record it, and then you're like, oh, okay, that's what I was doing this whole time. It's like, oh, yeah. Alright, now that makes sense, kind of.
Kind of, for the most you can.
Yeah.
All the fuck-ups, though, also really show you, like, okay, I need to do it like this, because you can get in the pattern of playing it over and over, and then you're like, okay, that was wrong. Do not do that again.
Right.
Probably needs a little bit of that broken.
Yeah, the more comfortable you get with a click, the groovier it all gets.
More drive.
Because you can even like drag with a click or whatever, and if you do it like consistently, it'll sound musical. It sounds cool. Especially cool for like bass and drums.
Okay.
Guitar is usually the attack instrument for the most part, so at least in punk and hardcore and metal and stuff. So. But yeah, that guitar was way thinner than TC6. Is that the one you had in TC6?
Yeah, I have a PBT60, and it's been sitting so long when I pulled it out of the case, it was like I couldn't, on a certain pickup that I use on it, have distortion. It would not work, so I don't know. Ryan said he'd take a peek at her for me, take a gander.
That's cool. Yeah, big shout out to Ryan for helping out with the recording session.
Yes, thank you, Ryan and Lucas.
Yeah, Ryan and Lucas, thank you.